All right, so you already saw the buyer timeline. I figured it would make sense to also show off the seller timeline. And the seller timeline's a little bit more in depth because there's a lot of planning that needs to take place before you just throw your house on the market. So I'm gonna walk you through this timeline, and hopefully if you've had any thoughts of selling, this will make sense and kind of point you in the right direction. The first thing that an agent should be bringing to their clients that's valuable is to evaluate the property, go over an equity analysis, and then finally do the comparative market analysis. What we find is most agents jump right into this, saying, here's what the market's doing, here's how many are active, here's how many pending, here's how many are sold, and here's what that means. And that's very good, but even before you jump into this, it's prudent to say, let's look at your house and evaluate the property, go over some things on what you can do to make your home more sellable, more attractive to the marketplace. Then let's go over what you owe on the property, what the equity analysis is, so you have an idea of if you sold for X, you will get Y. And then finally, let's go over the market. All three of these things together are the first step. And you can put them in any order, but this is the first thing a seller should be considering is, what can I do to make sure my house is super attractive? What do I get if I sell this house, and does that make sense for my financial future? And what are the market dynamics so I can look at my pricing strategy and my marketing strategy and make sure everything is aligned with a timeline that makes sense. So that's a lot, and I'm gonna walk you through the rest of it. So really analyze the property and the equity. 2 is preparing the house for the market. This is a whole separate step because just because we identify things doesn't mean they magically appear. A lot of times people need to declutter the house, remove pictures, increase curb appeal, little things that can increase the value of the home significantly for not a lot of money. An old saying in real estate is, a gallon of paint's worth 10 bucks in the can, 1,000 on the wall. Painting's a common one, caulking, things like that. One of the things we do in this stage for our clients is we'll send a stager out to your house and we'll pay for it. So it's completely free for you to have a professional stager come out and give you an hour consultation and point you in the right direction. Now, I always tell sellers, don't take this too personally because these stagers are pretty harsh. They'll say, this looks gross, take that down, remove this, move the couch, etc. So feel free to take advantage of it. It can only help. So that's right here, preparing for market. Stager is a good place to start. And the other thing we're offering, and I won't jump into it too much here, is having the house pre-inspected and getting a warranty in place. So buyers, when you do hit the market, can feel assured that this is a structurally sound, well-maintained home, it's under warranty, and that just makes buyers and buyers' agents feel more comfortable making offers on your home. So you have the stager, you can do pre-inspection. These are also things the Sure Group does and offers before we put a home on the market. So that's step 2. Once you've evaluated it, prepared it, then it's time to evaluate the timeline. The question you have to ask yourself is, when do I want to be out of this house ideally? What day would it be nice for me to have all my stuff out of here and somewhere else? And that's very important because the timeline has to be in line with what the market dynamics are. We need to look at, if you own a home in Lutherville and it's a townhome, and we know that on average these homes sell in 45 days for 94% of list price, that's the dynamic we're working with. How do we fit that into the puzzle that you're dealing with for your next home? You're upsizing, downsizing, moving out of state, whatever. It's important to understand that. So we need to evaluate the timeline and look at the market dynamics. And then our pricing strategy, this is probably the most important aspect of selling your home, pricing it appropriately. The pricing strategy has to be aligned with the marketing strategy. The pricing strategy has to be aligned with the marketing strategy, or else we're gonna struggle on the market. So there's 3 pricing strategies. Again, this will be a separate video, but you can go aspirational, perceived market value, or event pricing. Each one has a different marketing strategy. Each one can bring excellent results. And it's a combination of what's your ideal time frame, what are the current market dynamics, what pricing strategy do we want to go with, and then we can execute our marketing strategy based on all that. Fourth step, professional photography. So this doesn't matter what your strategies are, you're always going to have professional photography done on the house. We have a professional photography company on retainer, so we like to say it's in-house. It is a retainer relationship, and we'll have a professional photographer come to your house, take hundreds of pictures. We'll take the best 30, put them online, and use some of the extra ones to put on third-party sites like Zillow, Truly, or Realtor.com. But these are super edited. Your house will always look better online than it does in person, and that's by design because we edit it to get maximum online exposure. So professional photography, this is the key date. Nothing can happen until you decide when is my house going to be ready for professional photography. So keep that in mind too. Step 5, coming soon. This is a relatively new feature that agents are allowed to do for their seller clients. And coming soon is you can put the house, well, it's not on the market. You can put the house as coming soon into the multiple listing service. And every agent will know about it. It goes out to all the third-party websites as coming soon. Now you can only do coming soon for 21 days. Doesn't have to be 21 days, but no more than 21 days. This is an excellent strategy, if your timeline allows for it, to get maximum exposure with 0 days on the market. I can't tell you how many times we've sold homes that never hit the market, but they were coming soon because an agent will call and say, when is ABC Banana Street coming online? I'll say, hey, you know what? It's not going to be ready for a couple weeks, but I might be able to arrange a private showing. Do you want me to get you in? And then we have some exclusivity and we can control the negotiation a bit more. So if your timeline allows, coming soon is a great strategy. 21 days later, or you can jump straight to active. This is when your house is active on the market. Lockbox on the door, sign in the yard, house is on the market. The first weekend you're active, you want to do an open house. Now, not every house is built for an open house. Not every seller likes an open house, but we have specific strategies in place that make our open houses very productive uses of time. So we do the open house, then we get a contract. There's a whole slew of steps that happen after the contract. Watch episode 6 or 5, I believe I go through the buyer timeline. I think it's episode 5. So go to contract and then you close. But what really good listing agents do is they do all of this work up front before we go on the market. All of the heavy lifting should be done well before you go on the market. So just to give you an idea of what this timeline typically looks like, we can do all this in a day, prepare for a market maybe in a couple days, but the key date is when is the house going to be ready for professional photography? So hypothetically, say, hey, March 1st, get the pictures done. March 3rd, we get our pictures turned around in 24 hours every time, but to give us some leeway. March 3rd, we're coming soon. 21 days after that, what is that, 24? We're on the market. We know typically in many markets around here, homes are selling in the first 45 days. So we'll say 45 days we're under contract, which puts us at the beginning of May. And then from contract to close is another 45 days, which is going to put us at, end of June, roughly, say 6/21. So this is really important because if you're thinking about selling your home, like right now, today's mid-February 2017, if your house can be ready for pictures March 1st, you can probably be done, check in hand over the keys, you're out the door, 6/21. So there's a lot that goes into selling a home, a lot that goes into listing a home, and we do nothing half-ass in terms of the types of marketing we're doing in the coming soon period with Facebook ads, Instagram ads, LinkedIn ads, professional magazine brochures, direct mail to the neighborhood. Once we're active, it's all about having a consultative approach and being a strategic advisor to our seller throughout the process. So we don't sit back and hope the home sells. We are actively communicating, strategizing, and showing you what we're doing. saying, hey, here's how many people viewed your home on Zillow. Hey, here's how many people came to the open house. Here's how many people have scheduled showings. Here's the feedback other agents are giving us. We want to provide and empower our sellers with everything so you know what's going on in the market, and that way you're not looking at us saying, what the hell's this guy doing? He's not doing anything to sell my home. And we do a lot to get our homes sold. We spend a couple $1,000s per listing, whether it sells or not. We're marketing the daylights out of it. So if you have any questions about how much equity do I have, or what are the market dynamics, what do you think my house is worth, what types of pricing strategies can I use, what do you guys specifically do to market the home, do you think I'm ready for professional photography, should I do coming soon? All great questions. And at the end of the day, after every listing presentation, we do a little debrief. And here's what every seller wants to know. What is my house worth? What are you gonna do to get it sold? And what do you charge? If you have any of those questions, reach out to us. I'd love to answer them for you. Thanks. Oh, by the way, when you're considering listing a home, also consider this. In 2016, we sold $92 million worth of real estate. On average, for our listings, we beat the market by 3.6%, meaning other homes in the neighborhood got 3.6% less than our listings. We got 3.6% more than the average homes in the communities. So that's how we justify our fee, and we take a lot of pride in delivering and outpacing the market. Also, we sold them 9 days quicker, and a lot of that goes towards the prep work before we take a listing. So I hope this was valuable. Please follow us on Instagram. Follow me at Undem. Follow us on Facebook at Sure Sales Group. We'll see you next time.